Good afternoon, everyone. This is Speak Life to Youth and Children International, or SLYC, SLYC International. And I am Latanya Smith, your CEO and founder of SLYC International. And this is an awesome day. Today, we're continuing our series, Purpose, Passion, and Career. And we have a very special guest, friends of mine, the wife. She and I have been friends for 20 plus years, I think. I'm not even sure, but it's been a very long time. We met at the ministry we were both a part of when I was in Tallahassee, and her husband. So tell you a little bit about SLYC. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization to help children and youth from the ages of 6 through the age of 21. We provide various programs such as like this one, Youth Financial Literacy, Youth Awareness and Safety, which we call YAS, Cooking Basics 101, which we will have our next class on the first Saturday in June, and several others. You can check out our website at www.slycinternational.com. That's www.slycinternational.com, and you will see everything that we've been doing. We also have a YouTube channel, which this video, once we complete it today, will be posted on our YouTube channel. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, so you can check us out. I want to thank you all for joining us this afternoon, and I am looking forward to it. If you would like to donate to us, you can do it through our website or through our Cash App, which is $ capital SPEAK, speak for the number 4, SLYC, SLYC, all caps. So speak for SLYC. Do I have that right, Khadijah? No, I think I got that wrong. I'm sorry. $ SPEAK, the number 4, all caps, SLYC. You can donate through that as well. So without further ado, Mr. LB Harris and Khadijah Harris of Harris Heating and Cooling. And he has a lot to say. I mean, he is also a photographer, so I hope he talks about that a little bit as well. So I'm turning it to these two.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're happy to have everyone here. Today, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about the difference between a legal hustle, self-employment, and entrepreneurship. There's some profound differences we're going to address today. Let me give you a brief history about myself. Okay, I was raised in Detroit, Michigan, with a single mother there. Around 12 years old, at that point, my stepfather came in play. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, yes. At the age of 6 years old, I was diagnosed with a learning disability with dyslexia and a speech impediment. So throughout my childhood, that was some of the psychological struggles I dealt with, dealing with the stigma of having dyslexia. But I eventually end up getting involved in things that I'm not proud of, and I end up being incarcerated. But today, let's look at my life today. Today, I currently have a bachelor's degree. I have 2 master's degrees, and I'm currently, got a question for anyone. Anybody can answer this question. I'm currently hold on one second. I'm currently a ABD. Anybody know what that means? ABD. I put ABD at the end of my name. Anybody know what that means?
A born again Christian?
No, that's not it. That's close. No, that's not it. Okay.
Good try.
Okay. Basically, that means all but dissertation. I successfully completed all of my classes for my doctorate degree. I'm still in the process of working on my dissertation. So that's what that means. I'm trying to get back in school now so I can finish that dissertation. But that's a brief history about myself. And go ahead, Khadijah, tell them about you.
You're doing a presentation.
You knew you was you got to do it. You got to do it.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Khadijah Harris. I became a Harris about 5 years ago. to Mr. LB Harris. And as he said, he's truly an entrepreneur at heart. I don't want to get into too much of his topics. I'm not for sure if he's gonna talk about it much, but at one time he did have a successful carpet cleaning business. And I say it was successful because it was able to help him maintain a decent standard of living, to take care of his bills, take care of his needs, and also take me on a few dates. And if you know me, we could start off a little cheap, but you're gonna have to step it up after a while. So, that carpet cleaning business did well for him. But like I said, he's an entrepreneur at heart, and he just keeps going and going and going. He's always learning and always trying to better himself, and he does accomplish that. So that's pretty much about LB. And I won't talk about me because
Okay.
a little bit about me.
Okay, go.
So we'll go ahead and get into the presentation. We're going to share the screen. Where did the screen go? Which one? 1 second. Go ahead and start. I'm trying to find the screen to show we had. Let me see. I don't see your PowerPoint there. Oh, there we go. Show all windows. We're not gonna mention them in the technology field either, since we just had that blooper. Okay, can everybody see that screen okay? The first screen, Entrepreneurship by Lavavious Harris.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason why I use this topic, failure is not an option, because that's one of my favorite quotes. Because you haven't.
Don't click because it's gonna go. Oh, you wanna go to the next one?
Yes. Well, I use the topic, failure is not an option, because during Apollo 13, when the spacecraft was on its way back to Earth, they were having some technical difficulties. And they said that failure is not an option. In essence, if they would have failed, at that point, they knew that they always going to lose their life. So this is what we're dealing with small businesses. If you have a dream of starting a business, you got to take the philosophy and the ideology, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to be successful at all costs. So that's why even with my personal life, as I will have certain trials and tribulation, I will reflect back on this quote, failure is not an option. What can I do to be successful at whatever venture I'm trying to embark upon? Okay, here's a couple quotes. Some of these quotes we may be familiar with, others we may not be. Go ahead, read the quotes for us, Kadisha.
I'm not for sure. Just think it's on the camera. If you're not working on your dream, you're working on someone else's. Quote by Tony Gaskins. If you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to build theirs.
Typically, this is the entrepreneur mindset. I worked for another air conditioning company before, a couple of them I don't work for. Typically, it was somebody's dream at one point in time. They started the business, so they started hiring people. So if you have the desire to be an entrepreneur, but you have to utilize this philosophy as well. Okay, if we look at Nike, Google, Walt Disney, Walmart, Microsoft, Facebook, at one point in time, this was all somebody's dream. Phil Knight had a dream about starting a shoe company. Google, Walt Disney, Bill Gates with Microsoft. Got a small video here, short video.
Are we supposed to hear audio?
Yeah, y'all can't hear the audio?
Can't hear the audio.
Let me see how we might could do this. You got that on the
That's your video?
presentation.
Yes.
Let me see if we can improvise.
Okay.
I'm not sure why the audio gonna come through.
I can try to find out your video itself.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play it from here, and then we just have to synchronize starting it.
You want 3 minutes without audio? Okay.
Sorry about that, y'all. Guess we should have asked if you all were hearing anything.
Another thing we need for everyone to do, I guess, while we're waiting, is if everybody can get a piece of paper also, a piece of paper and a pen, just have it ready. We got a little quiz coming up.
I'm ready.
Okay.
This might not be good quality sound, but we'll see how this works.
Okay. Learning technology.
Your brain is like a circuit. Your brains you believe you are something. You actually embody that feeling. If you were, God forbid, in a coma and you woke up and you didn't really have a memory of what you were told,
Oh, look, that might not work too well because we didn't time this right. Could y'all hear something when we did it that time?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. We got to get it at the same time.
Well, I can find the exact video itself and they can share that.
Let me see.
Go out to PowerPoint and find the exact video.
Go out to YouTube.
No, I have this in my folder.
And
Play it.
okay,
Take me out.
let's see if it still might be not be able to hear it though. You think? You see what I'm saying?
We can try. We got 4 videos, 4 small short videos.
Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
your brain is like a
Did we share the video?
It's not the best sound quality.
We're gonna skip the video.
You can always include the video in the chat.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Include the video link in the chat.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh, you know what it said on YouTube?
No, I don't know. No, I saved it. Well, in essence, what the video, let's go back to the PowerPoint.
Was it where it was just horrible to hear that video, or what could you make it out?
I couldn't make it out.
Okay. We'll just go back to the PowerPoint then.
Okay.
Okay, in essence, what the video was talking about, it was talking about how you view yourself, far as if you thought of yourself as a Navy SEAL. If you wasn't in a coma, he said, and someone told you was a Navy SEAL, how you gonna respond differently than if you thought you was a pianist, someone who played the pianos. So that's the essence of the video. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, we have African-American entrepreneurs. Do anybody off the top of their head, can somebody name one or two of them?
No, one that's online, Belinda Robinson and Nelson Robinson, and they're, not,
Okay.
Yet, but they are local here in West Georgia.
Okay. Then we can even look at like some of the people who become famous. A lot of them venture off into the entrepreneur field. Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, people such as that nature as well.
Percy Miller.
Can y'all hear that?
We hear something.
Okay, I could.
I know
Okay.
normally when I do PowerPoints that have videos, when I'm doing a Zoom call, I have to take my physical mic and play it through my computer speakers and let my physical mic rest near my speakers in order for my audience to hear it.
Okay, thank you for that tip. Do we have a physical mic, Khadijah?
Probably can't get my hand on it. Let me see one quick second. You do have a mic.
Okay, let me look at this video right here. We got African-American entrepreneurs. We had dreamers, Willie Garrett, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Robert L. Johnson, Damon Johnson, Lavavious Harris. I know that guy right there. Sean Combs. Okay. What we're gonna do right now is take the dreamers and line them up with their endeavors. And don't use YouTube. Don't use Google. Just go ahead and see, can you line the person up with their endeavors? And we're gonna discuss them briefly. That's a different type of mic.
Let's see. 7, 8.
No, actually, that's my power.
G. Okay, a couple of these people I've never heard of.
That might be for headphones. Let me know when we finish. Just send me a thumbs up, man.
I only know 4 of them, I think.
Trying to find a mic. Well, okay. Willie Garrett, he's an attorney, and he's referred to as the giant killer. He's an African-American attorney based out of California, and he took on a lot of the tobacco companies. And he tells his story. When he went against these companies, it was that pretty much him and maybe 2 or 3 other attorneys went against the big corporations who had 20 or 30 attorneys. So that's why he refers to it as a giant killer. He's an African-American attorney. But we all know Oprah Winfrey. We pretty much all know Tyler Perry's story. Then also we have the Johnsons here, the founders of Black Entertainment, which is BET. Okay. Damon John. Now his story, he's the founder of FUBU. Typically, when he started the food booth company, he started with $40. He also had dyslexia. He could not, when he went to the big show where you basically present your clothing line to the store, he couldn't afford to have people actually walk down the runway. He rented a hotel room. He laid all his FUBU clothes out on the bed, and he invited a few people to come take a look at them. And that's pretty much how he got his started. Well, we know Sean Combs, Chris Gardner. He's in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith played him in the movie about 5 or 6 years ago, The Pursuit of Happiness. And these are just a few people, but in essence, they are entrepreneurs, but they had a dream, and they went and worked towards their dream. Okay, now we're about to get into more of the technical term, the actual, what is the difference between a entrepreneurship, illegal hustle, criminal activity, legal hustle, self-employment, and entrepreneurship. Now we're gonna dive into that. At any time, if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me, and we can answer your questions. Okay. Illegal hustle, selling CDs, which is piracy. You know, we say, I know about one point in time here in Florida, people would sell CDs, and we're not talking about this type of hustle. Okay. Now we got legal hustle versus self-employment. That's a profound difference between the two also. A legal hustle, the bootleg mechanic, the person who can fix your vehicle when you need it fixed. You don't want to take it to the auto dealership. You say they're gonna rip you off. The person who ride around who cut grass. You know, he got a few clients. He come to your house. He cut the grass. I know up there in Michigan, people shovel snow. The lady who sells fish dinners, she have a hustle also. The person who sells clothes out his vehicle. Now, it's a difference between a legal hustle and a hobby. My wife currently makes flyers. Okay, I do a little photography. That's more so of a hobby. The reason why it's a hobby because we're not getting paid, we're not getting compensated for our services. So that's why it falls under the no, you don't know, not like you should get paid.
Yeah, not getting paid yet.
But you got paid for your photography when you do it sometimes.
Well, very seldom, yeah. Okay. Now, we do have a little footnote at the bottom. If the state or the city require a permit or license to operate in any of these capacities, okay, I can see the last part. And the person does not have one, at that point, it transitions from being a legal hustle or self-employment to criminal activity. And that's what we have to be able to decipher. Where are we at? Are we doing a legal hustle or are we participating in criminal activity? Self-employment. Now, a legal hustle and self-employment could pretty much be the same thing. In the book that Rich Dad Poor Dad, he made a comment. He said that if you have a business and you cannot leave that business for a year without it running by itself, you in essence own your own job. Okay, the Uber driver, for instance, he's his own boss. He owns his own job. The lady who sells fish dinner, she's making enough. And this is where my wife is mistaken at a little bit. I did not have a carpet cleaning business. I own my own job because that business was not able to financially sustain me if I didn't go out there and physically do the work myself. So that's the difference when we get into self-employment and actually opening and running a business. Okay. Now, and then also with the legal hustle, the person is making enough revenue to keep them afloat. Now, the person who owns their own job, let's say the bootleg mechanic, he's doing enough vehicle to take care of his expenses, his light, his gas, his water. The person who have a lawn serving business, they're doing enough business to provide for themselves. The lady who's selling the fish dinners, selling enough dinners where she paying all her bills. Definitely she owns her own job compared to being a hustler. self-employment versus entrepreneurship. We have to define what is entrepreneurship. Read the definition, Khadijah.
Entrepreneurship, the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risks in the hope of profit.
Okay, let's dive into this definition. The activity of setting up a business or businesses and taking with financial risk in hopes of a profit. Okay, for instance, a nonprofit organization. Well, let me reframe that. Let me go to the next slide. Okay. Now, if we look at entrepreneurship, operating a business, this is the difference between this and the legal hustle of the self-employment. One of the profound difference, if we look at air conditioning contractor, real estate investor, barbershop, person who opened a barbershop, or auto repair shop. An auto repair shop is different than fixing cars in your driveway. A landscaping business, a plumbing contractor, a restaurant owner. A restaurant owner is profoundly different than selling dinners out of the house. And one of the difference is you need a business license, state certified license. You need general liability insurance. You need workman comp insurance, and also you need an EIN number, employment identification number. Now, when someone goes to entrepreneurship, at this point, these are the things that they have to have. You have to have liability insurance. Because currently, right now, I have liability insurance with my air conditioning business. If I go to someone's house and I do something that causes severe damage to their house, we do something, their house burned down, my $1 million insurance policy is going to cover for their house to get fixed. Now, the person with the legal hustle, or the person who might not necessarily be an actual business, they're going to shrug their shoulders and say, well, I'm sorry, have a good day. Okay, workman's comp insurance. If you have someone come over your house to fix on your house and they get hurt, they can sue you. But if the person has workman's comp insurance like I have, at that point, my workman's comp insurance will cover any type of expenses that they may incur. But if that contractor you send out do not have workman's comp insurance, you will be held liable because your sidewalk may have a crack in it, or that bottom step was not secure like it should be. Okay, that's entrepreneurship. Any questions so far? Any questions? Oh. Okay, the 7 most popular types of business. You have sole proprietorship. What's the condition? Go ahead, sir. Okay. You have partnership. You have limited partnership, corporation, LLC, non-profit, and okay. Corporation. Walmart is a corporation. In order to be a corporation, typically you're gonna have a board who's gonna oversee how that company is being ran. Walmart is a corporation. A partnership. If 2 entities come together and decide to do a business venture with a partnership. My business is an LLC, limited liability corporation. In essence, what that is that if something happened, I can't be held personally responsible for it. The company will be held responsible. So therefore, your life saving that you don't work hard to save, someone won't walk away with it. Any questions? Okay, question. What is the #1 reason why some people do not pursue entrepreneurship?
I think one is fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. Anybody else got another reason why?
They feel like they can't afford it.
Okay, you said finances. We got
And taxes.
finances. We have fear. Okay, yeah, okay.
Fear
Now,
of failure.
What I came up with, I didn't do any.
I don't
The
think
fear
Mary-
of failure.
Okay, yeah.
And I said taxes.
Okay, taxes. Okay. Now, I didn't actually do a astro academic study to come up with my answer. I did some observation, people I talked with, but actually, I would go with fear also. Okay, and here we had a nice video on Will Smith After Earth. Unfortunately, I can't show it. Will Smith with
Is that on YouTube?
it's probably on YouTube. I don't know where. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have Khadijah read you this quote. Read it. I can't find my book. In essence, what Will Smith telling his son, he telling him about fear. And he said that one thing he realized, fear is in essence a figment of our imagination. It's based on what we perceive is gonna happen, but not based in reality. And so, and he said, once he realized that, he said, don't get me wrong, danger is real, but fear is a figment of our imagination. And right, fear is one of the primary reasons why people do not enter into entrepreneurship. If I use my wife as an example, now she would not venture out to entrepreneurship. That's not. She said, "I'm not going to try that. I work for the state. They give me a check every week. As long as I do my job." Whereas if you on entrepreneurship, there's some risks involved. Okay.
So LB, while we are waiting, I want to just ask you a question. Why did you decide to step out and start your own? Fear is always there. And I think in everybody's mind, fear is always there when you're stepping out, trying to venture out and do something of your own. What made you decide?
Okay, what made me decide? As I stated before, I'm a convicted felon. When I moved here to Florida, I had a bachelor's degree. Eventually, I got 2 master's degrees, and I still had employment obstacle in my way. And so therefore, that's when I started cleaning carpet. That's when I started my carpet cleaning, owning my own job as cleaning carpet because of the employment barrier. So unfortunately, I'm like 1 in 3 African-American males. 1 in 3 African-American males, unfortunately, made certain decisions that caused us to become convicted felons, and therefore it hindered my employment options. Then eventually, when I got into the air conditioning field, at that point, I realized how lucrative it can be being an air conditioning contractor compared to just having a carpet cleaning job, owning my own job. So that's why I got it out of desperation. Because if I give you a little bit of my backstory, I applied for a job and they told me I didn't meet their contractual obligations. That's what they said. They were working with ex-offenders for an organization who helped ex-offenders. So at that point, I said, okay, I got me a master's degree in counseling, marriage and family counseling. Okay, I got the same response. I did not meet the contractual obligation. And the contractual obligation was that I was an ex-offender. And so therefore, no, I can't say that. I might cry now. Anyway, she said, tell me I almost cried. But anyway, once I realized it was there, and I realized that with the barrier at that point, I had to find something else I can do to maneuver my current employment barriers. And so I currently have my own business now, but I also work for another company also. I currently work for another company until my own personal company grows to where I would like for it to be. At that point, I'm going to venture out on my own.
Okay, great.
So I guess it was, unfortunately, desperation. Okay, fear, okay. Now, typically, when you start a business, you have to do market research. You have to do a market analysis. You have to understand who is my target audience. Let's say, hypothetically, D.S. Davis said, LB, you should start you a snow shoveling business. I'm going to sell you some shovels at $2 a shovel, and you can sell them for $10 a shovel. You can make 80% profit. That's more than 80%, but yes, that sounds good. I go invest let's say $15,000 buying shovel. He send me the shovel. I wait till the winter time to sell the shovels. The only problem I live in Florida. So selling shovels in Florida would not be a very wise business strategy. And that would be a direct result because I didn't do my market research. Now in Michigan, selling shovels would probably be pretty good. But so that's, you gotta do like I said, a market analysis, understand your target audience. When I had my carpet cleaning job going on, my target audience was college students. It were people who might be financially challenged, who couldn't necessarily afford to really get their carpet clean. So my price was a little bit more friendlier, catered to that particular audience.
You want to show your video? We could bring it up in.
So you have to do find out who's your target audience is.
You want to show the video?
Yes, sure. Okay.
Let's see if this will work since we have this clip from.
Okay. In the chat box, in the chat box, Ms. Khadija has included the link of the video they're trying to pull up.
Can you play it?
Let me try. Hold on, let me see if I can share my screen. Cancel. And share screen. All right, I am going to stop sharing your screen for a minute. Oh,
Okay.
can y'all hear that?
No.
Can't hear it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's not gonna
You're
work.
gonna have to put a mic to the speaker.
Okay,
You gotta put a
Well,
mic to the speaker.
I do not have a mic.
Okay, it's in the chat.
Yes.
Let me see if I can pull it for you.
Thank you, Miss Belinda Robertson.
You're
I can find
welcome.
a mic.
Other videos too.
All right.
Now, if I can stop it.
Once
Hold on.
LT, you stop sharing your screen because then I'm gonna need access.
I stopped sharing and making you a co-host.
Okay.
Let's try this.
1 second.
Apologize for the technical difficulties, y'all. We working, doing this all online. But the Robertsons are the technological gurus. They have all of that.
Know about gurus. Okay, share screen. And I want that one. All right, can anybody see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's try it again. Can you hear it?
Cannot hear it.
My headphones. Headphones out.
Can hear.
Something we're never supposed to do. There's a decamos right in front of me. I go for my cutlass. Shoots his pencil right through my shoulder. Next thing I know, we're over the cliff, falling 30 meters straight down into the river. We settle onto the bottom. It's on top of me, but it's not moving. And I realize he's trying to drown me. I'm thinking I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I cannot believe this is how I'm gonna die. I can see my blood bubbling up, mixing with the sunlight, shining through the water. And I think, wow, that's really pretty. And everything slows down. I see his pencil through my shoulder. And I decide I don't want that in there anymore. So I pull it out. And he lets me go. And more than that, I can tell it can't find me. Doesn't even know where to look. And it dawned on me. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity, Qatar. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. We are all telling ourselves a story. And that day mine changed.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that.
You swapping back to us, LT?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you should be a host now. So Belinda, now we know we need to get us a microphone to do stuff. So I'll be talking to you about what kind y'all got.
I could hook up your whole podcast studio if you want to. Believe it
Yes,
or not,
ma'am.
I'm in my bedroom.
Okay, we'll work on that.
I mean, we're gonna blame LT because she was supposed to have us practice before we got started.
Oh,
Okay, so in essence, what the video was talking about, we're talking about fear. Typically, we said one of the questions that we posed was, why do not more people go into entrepreneurship? And fear is a primary reason. The fear of the unknown, the fear of uncertainty. But then also what we have to deal with, to go into entrepreneur, to go into any type of business venture, you got to put the work in. It's not gonna happen. It might not be a lot of people out there who are willing to mentor you. So therefore, you got to go to YouTube. You got to study. You got to go to seminars. You got to do as much education as you can. They interviewed Mark Cuban. He the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks. And he said that as African Americans, we are at somewhat of a disadvantage. But you cannot put a cap on effort and knowledge. So therefore, what he's saying that you got to go above and beyond. You got to learn what you to learn, be successful. Okay, I'm gonna let this video play. I'm gonna explain to you what's going on in this video and why it's playing. Okay, the world's youngest entrepreneur. Okay, this young fella here is in Philadelphia, and he sells lemonade. And how he got started is that he watched a lot of cartoons at 8 years old. And one cartoon talked about selling lemonade. So this is what he started. He started selling lemonade. And like and he referred to it as this is his hustle. And this lady here is his employee. He's 10 years old and she his employee. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna forward you the links to all of these videos. So he said he's the CEO of Micah Mix. Okay. And his mother said typically he make the lemonade, he set it up, he take the money. And what happened is a lot of businesses started promoting him on their Instagram. And he started selling the lemonade out of his house. Then eventually they got a little storefront. And the mother saying she don't do anything. He greet the customers, he take the money. All she do is sit on the stairs and just watch it, make sure everything going good. That's enough of that, I can't hear it. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, I would narrate if we watch the videos. Okay, Ashley, if we go back to one of the questions right here, Chris Gardner, stockbroker, The Pursuit of Happiness. That was that movie clip I'm gonna narrate from Will Smith. Will Smith played Chris Gardner in that movie Pursuit of Happiness. Chris Gardner was, I don't know, for lack of better terminology, I don't know his luck, or he didn't find the right business venture at that time. He was hustling to try to grow and help himself become successful. But in essence, what this video is saying, let me go for it. So he tell his son, we're gonna go sell a bone density scanner. His son say no, he don't want to sell, he want to eat his cereal. He don't want to sell those. So they out there playing basketball. He playing basketball with his son. And at this point, he telling his son, don't really concentrate on basketball. I'm not physically gifted. So you probably be as good as me. So don't spend a lot of time out there messing around with that basketball. And he said, you're gonna excel in a lot of things, just not that there, referring to basketball. Now, as you can look, the son's a little bit depressed right now. He said he throw the ball against the gate. Now, at this point, I think it dawned on him what he just told his son. So now he about to give his son some more advice that typically, I think this is really important advice that I would tell, I would give to anyone. And this is the part of the clip that's the most touching. Now he just told his son, don't you let anybody tell you you can't do something because they can't do it. He said, even me. So even if I tell you you can't do it, just because I can't do it, don't you listen to anybody. And, you know, go ahead, Khadijah. He said you got to protect your dream. And if you want something, go get it.
Oh, and I was just gonna jump in and throw in and say that,
No, video.
huh? I'm not in the video. Oh,
Video. Go ahead.
I get the video. And I'm not doing any entrepreneurship work right now, but I did recently just get promoted on a job, and just looking at this Will Smith clip, I got a little teary-eyed myself, because the job that I was promoted to, a lot of people probably felt that I couldn't do it. And I'm still, I guess you could say I'm still a little bit nervous about the job, because it's something that I've never did before, and it's a big step that I'm taking. I'm going to be the chief of application development services at one of the state agencies here in Florida. And when people heard that, they were like, are you sure you can do that? But you've only been doing this or that or whatever. So for so many years, how could they hire you to do this particular position? But what they didn't know is the place that I'm going, I already had a history with that place. They already know my quality of work. They know my character. So everyone there welcomed me with open arms, and they are confident that I will be able to succeed in that particular position. So I just wanted to throw that in there, since we are in the video, just share a little bit of my testimony about protecting your dream and believing in yourself, because not everyone is going to be rooting for you. Not everyone is going to be there for you. And you do have people that sometimes, that may try to give you a little bit of balance or whatever, making you thinking about the pros and the cons. But just because someone tells you that you cannot do it, don't be afraid to move forth and pursue your dreams. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay. Thank you for that. Any questions so far? Any questions?
Well, I thank you for sharing that clip, and Khadijah saying what you just said, because even though there may not be a lot of kids online now, when they watch the video, or whomever watched the video, that's motivation and encouragement, because as you know, a lot of kids may hear, well, you can't do that, you're not from the right side of the tracks, or you can't do that, you're not this, you're not that. But whatever your purpose and your passion is and your dreams, you go forth regardless of what is said, as long as you believe and step forth knowing that it's going to happen.
Yes. Okay. So I think what we're going to do now, we're going to do a brief recap of more of the technical parts of the presentation. Yes. Okay. Entrepreneurship. We can disregard this first one here. We're going to look at these three here. We have legal hustle, we have self-employment, and then we have entrepreneurship. Okay, if we discussed the difference between a legal hustle versus self-employment. Then we looked at, far as self-employment go, far as the difference between that in essence only basically hustle. You only get enough income to keep you afloat. Owning your own job, you in essence pulling in enough revenue, of enough finances that you basically paying your bills. You paying your light, your gas, your water. You have some extra left over. But this is where we want to get most people to the point to where they are basically they are in the process of actually physically starting a business. And when I say starting a business, if I look at me, as far as Harris Heating and Cooling Solutions right now, if a customer called me right now, I have one part-time employee. Someone called me right now, I can answer my phone, take the call, I can send my part-time employee out to do the service call. And at that point, I will pay him, the customer will pay me. This is what I think that we want to really strive and push African Americans to. The ones who are in the hustling stage, the ones who are in the stage of owning their own job. We want to really push them and encourage them to move into legitimacy. Okay, 'cause I think currently right now, approximately 5% of businesses are African American owned. Here in the city of Tallahassee, for African American air conditioning contractors, it's probably only a handful of us. In the construction field I'm familiar with, as I go to the superintendent meetings and meeting with, let's say, the big wig, so to speak. Typically, I'm the only person of color in the room. And so this is one thing that I personally want to work toward to help close that gap. Now, we know far barbershops go, we know there's a lot of African American owned barbershops. And, we do have a monopoly on that. Doing hair, a hairdresser. Typically, African American women, you're not going to have an Asian woman do your hair most likely. Now the nail salons are a different story. Typically, the Asian have a monopoly on doing nails and pedicure. They have a monopoly on that particular aspect of the business. Landscaping, we do see African American businesses for landscaping. Plumbing contractor, very seldom. Now we do have a few African American restaurants we have periodically pop up. But if we know the majority of the chain of restaurants are owned by different ethnic groups. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay, no questions, okay. I think I pretty much reached the end of my presentation due to the fact some of my video didn't show like they should have shown, but I think we covered quite a bit of information.
I just want to throw in before we end, since LB is at the end of his presentation, and since he didn't mention it, is that some obstacles. Well, another thing that's very admirable, I would say, of my husband that I admire him about is some obstacles that he has that he didn't share, that he doesn't let that stop him from moving forward and achieving more. And these, the obstacles that he mentioned, that was a self-imposed obstacle that he gave to himself. But there were a couple of obstacles that were not self-imposed. And one of them is that, I forget the exact dates and stuff, but at the age of
30.
At the age of 30, he had open heart surgery at the age of 30. So that, well, let me back up. Before that, I thought that came after this, but this was first, right?
The finger amputation part came in about 2 years before that.
So about 2 years before that, he was working in one of the factories in Detroit, and 2 of his fingers were amputated. He was working in one of the shops. You don't want to show your hand?
No, what's your hand?
You don't want to show his hand, but he has, let me see, 1, 2, 3. He got 3 fingers. That's not a full finger. So
yeah.
They were amputated because of an accident that happened in the factory while he was working. That didn't stop him. 2 years after that, he had the heart surgery where he has a heart valve in his heart right now. Without that heart valve, he would not be here this day. So those were 2 things. And the other thing he did mention that wasn't self-imposed was the dyslexia. So that was already like 3 things that he could have said, let me just collect disability, not knocking anyone who has to collect disability, but let me just, collect disability. Or he could have made that as an excuse as to why he couldn't excel or achieve more or try to achieve greater in life. So I think that is one thing that is, very admirable of him, that he didn't let any of that stop him. So when he says that failure is not an option, he truly means that and believes that failure is not an option. He's always looking for ways to better himself. He's the king of YouTube as far as finding different ways how to do things. We just recently had some work done in our house that didn't go too well. So he was on YouTube looking at that and identifying every single thing that the person didn't do correctly. So I just wanted to mention those things because a lot of times life gives us things that we don't have any type of control over. I don't know when he was in that factory if he had his hand in the wrong spot or what happened, but the bottom line is 3 of those fingers were chopped off, and his sister's on here, I see. So she had to help nurse him back to health during that particular time. So that's pretty much what I just wanted to throw in and just share regarding his life and some of the obstacles that he has overcome.
Let me talk about the hand situation briefly. And this is when we deal with motivation and desire. At that time, I was going to school. I work in a factory and going to school, and my left hand part of it got crushed.
His
Fingers.
left hand is his
Okay.
dominant.
And that's the hand I actually write with. But, and due to the fact that I have dyslexia and I was in college, and prior, I didn't think I was college material. So therefore, when I was in school, my hand got hit. What I ended up doing is, after they did the surgery on my hand, I practiced writing with my right hand so I can do my work for school. I sat there and I practiced. I put that pen in my right hand and I sat at that table and I practiced. So I got it where it was legible enough where I was able to continue my schoolwork by doing my assignment with my right hand. And so that's just, I talk about motivation, I talk about desire, I talk about don't find a means to make an excuse. We all have been dealt certain cards in life. So therefore, the cards you've been dealt, you have to play them. Whether the card is dealing with race, whether it's dealing with sex, whether it's dealing with whatever card it is, you have to play the cards you've been dealt with. And you have to stay motivated, you have to stay focused, and you have to have the drive and the mental fortitude to keep going. You have to have the mental fortitude to keep going.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
With Khadijah sharing that and then you chiming in for, let's say, for instance, a future 14-year-old
Yes.
diagnosed with dyslexia,
Okay.
has been in trouble with criminal activity, who have the best circumstances at home. What would you say to that 14-year-old that's dealing with that to encourage and motivate them? Because based on what you just shared, that's a lot of self-determination, self-motivation, emotional self-love, that you thought you loved yourself enough to push beyond the cards that was dealt.
Well, let me say this. Did you say based on this person's home environment, he said it had the best home environment, do not have the best
Not
home
the
environment?
best. I was just making
Okay.
a futuristic kid.
Let me add a caveat to that. I talked about everything that I was able to do. But I think that the primary factor is that
Let it out, pray. Yes. You got a powerful story, powerful testimony, and that kids need, young adults, kids need to hear it. Even some of the adults need to hear it. Deal with the hand that you've been given, regardless of the race and the sex and the abuse or bad grades or getting incarcerated or whatever.
I had a mother who prayed for me. I couldn't pray for myself. So everything that I overcame in life, it's a direct result for this mother taking care of these 3 kids who did the best she could. It's why I'm successful. I know if it wasn't for my mother praying, when I was going astray, where I probably would be at today. So now today, I'm able to look at the accomplishment that I had. And my mother set me down at the table to get the hook on phonics, and she did her best. And when she knew that her earthly given talent was not enough, she turned to a power that was higher than her to able to let this dyslexic ex-convict be at the point of as a licensed air conditioning contractor, in a point of working on his dissertation. I know it was a divine intervention there, that you cannot just say, So, I mean, what I would tell anyone, they need that family support system. They need, when that child is going astray, that parent, or we say take a village to work with our children, our young people. That's what it takes. That's why I commend you and the organization you started. That's why any help that you need, make a dish there for you. Because we know that the forces that we facing, the things that we see going on with this, with the society today, it's gonna take a divine intervention. So with me personally, it's because of my mother who prayed for me when I was going astray. I mean, yeah.
I didn't mean to have nobody tearing up or crying, but that's what it was. That was needed.
Yeah.
That was needed. And I want to commend you for all that. And I know it's probably a lot more that you haven't shared, that you've gone through, but I commend you for what you have achieved thus far. And I'm looking to call you doctor.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to be calling you that soon. So, doctor, I'm going to just say doc. So how doc doing? That's your new name. That's what I'm calling you, because that is what you are. And, your elevation is coming more and more. So you continue doing that, what you are doing. And your wife, your helpmeet is right there. Y'all continue to push forward together. I'm expecting you to have heating, cooling solutions. That's going to be it. You won't be working for nobody else. This will be your own job, your job. Somebody's raising their hand. Who's raising their hand? My sister and my mother. I'm not sure which one clicked it. Unmute.
I don't even know that.
Unmute.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Keitha.
That's my sister, LB.
Okay.
The one
We
you
met
installed
and
the AC.
did business together.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's still a satisfied customer of Harris Heating and Cooling Solutions.
Absolutely. If I wasn't, trust me, you all would have known, but absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So do we have any comments, questions, anything you want to say before we end this session?
LaTanya,
Yes.
I do have a question. LB, I am so grateful for you coming on and sharing your testimony. And I am so happy to see what God is doing with you and Khadijah in your business. I've got a question as far as when you mentioned a little earlier about mentoring, you didn't really kind of speak on it, but did you have a mentor in your businesses, and how did it influence you?
Okay. Well, for the business itself, unfortunately, no, I did not have an actual mentor for the business itself. Like I say, the original carpet cleaning job that I had, owning my own carpet cleaning job, it came out of desperation because I couldn't find traditional employment. The air conditioning, once I learned enough about the air conditioning, I started working for other companies. As I learned more, that's when I basically started using sort of self-education. Now, I did have some associates I talked to about air conditioning. I live, breathe air conditioning, and we talked about it. But as far as being a mentor and said, this is what you need to do to set up the business, the LLC, even right now, far as in the air conditioning business, learning how to bid on larger projects, it's a learning curve involved there. So unfortunately, no, it's not like it's a group of people. Now, let's say, for instance, if you ask me, I know somebody who want to start a business, LB, would you help them? Yes, I will. Yes, no question.
Thank you.
And I like to throw in too, Selena, since we do have a little more time, sometime left, for LB to share the story back to his carpet cleaning business, because of course, you're going to have some bumps and bruises most of the times when you get started on a business. But if you could share the story regarding your when you first went, when they told you to leave or something like that.
when I first started the carpet cleaning job, I didn't know anything about carpet cleaning. Okay, I ordered a rug doctor offline. I got the rug doctor. I had a 1994 Kia with a dent on one side. And so what I did is I would pass out flyers. I put my little rug doctor in a passenger seat. I would boil hot buckets of water. I would go to customers' houses. I went up to one man's house. At this time, I ended up eventually got an old raggedy van. I painted carpet cleaner on the side of it. I went to one man's house with my little rug doctor. He looked at it and he said, "What you doing with that?" I said, "I'm here to clean your carpet, sir." He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Okay, have a good day." So I took my little rug doctor. I got back in my car and the van left. And eventually I started studying carpet cleaning. I realized you need a carpet cleaning machine. And so I looked on Craigslist, found a machine. So at that point, that carpet cleaner, I would hire guys who had no other employment options. And they would come with me, we would go clean carpet. But it was trial and tribulation. And so therefore, when you deal with disappointment and rejection, it's how you deal with that disappointment and rejection will determine if you're successful or if you fail. Now, if someone at any point sit back and say, feel sorry for yourself, you know, then that's when that person eventually will fail. Yeah, that's my carpet cleaning story. But now, far as I mean, like I said, the air conditioning business is growing. We have 2 vehicles, got them nicely wrapped. So now, if I put somebody out with the air conditioning, you know, it's a legitimate company. Like I say, a licensed insurance, licensed air conditioning contractor. But like I said, everything is a learning curve. It depends on with entrepreneurship. How willing are you willing to learn, or do you think you know everything? If you think you know everything, chances are the business probably will not be successful.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? Comments?
Latanya,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I do have a comment, but I guess close out here first, and then I want to mention something to you.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
LB, again, I appreciate everything. I've learned a whole lot. I wanted to go back to your business, Tanya, and the training or the conference that you had last week. Was it with Miss Belinda Roberts?
2 weeks ago.
Okay, 2 weeks ago. I just wanted to quickly share a testimony. When I heard the information that you had given, it was so, you know, educational that I put it out there, and I shared it, the link, with my family. And I asked everybody to go out and just take a look, you know, just listen to it and glean from it, and let's take our kids to a new level, you know. And my daughter just recently, this week, bought a 2018 Mustang. And she has absolutely no credit at all. And when she put in the application to, you know, apply for the loan, they said no. And so I talked with them and I shared with them that she has been in this credit union for years. You see the amount of income that's coming in, you know what she's making, and she's got monies that are saved in there. They went back and they took a look at it, and they approved her for $18,000. And she went out this week and bought her a car. It wasn't something I was trying to get her to kind of fix up the other one, but she had her dream car. She knew what she wanted. She knew that she wanted to be traveling. So therefore she wanted a car to be able to do that. But your teaching and the things that you said helped us to be able to go back and do some of those things. So I wanted to share with you my testimony, in addition to me sharing that information with my family. So I'm praying that they will grasp it and be able to do some things too in the future. So thank you, Latanya, for having Miss Robertson, her and her husband, on to be able to share that information to help us.
Thank you. And I encourage everyone that's online, share the information about Slick, the YouTube videos, the website, and you know, I'm going to have the Robertsons back on in some months. I am going to have The Harris is back on in some months. So we're gonna keep growing and keep pushing. It's all about teaching our kids and preparing them for their future and their children's future. And because I would like to see more of our kids be entrepreneurs by the time they're 18 or 16, having their own businesses and doing and employing people. That's what it's all about. Anybody else? I see a couple of more people that join in. I'm assuming there's some of Mr. Harris's relatives, Mr. Davidson, Mr. Hood.
Well, hello to everyone. My name is Yolanda Nixon. And oh my gosh, my attendance here is just divinity. I actually was asleep. And I woke up and just grabbed my phone and looked at a friend of mine Facebook and actually saw a flyer for this Zoom. Literally, that is how quick it happened. I saw the flyer and I looked at the time. I was like, oh, that's now, and I came on, not really completely knowing exactly what the platform was completely about. I figure I have two sons. We have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. We have an adult daughter also. And so I just assume Kathy Brandon was my information was on her Facebook, and her son was getting ready. I haven't talked to her in a while, so I'm reading all this information and I'm updating through looking. I'm like, oh, I gotta call Kathy. But this has been a wonderful treat and an awesome way to wake up to something. I have been I am an entrepreneur, but I'm married now, but a good portion of my years was as a single mother, running a business. I had a hair salon for 12 years, supporting my business and my home. So I research a lot of information. So I definitely want to say that the information that you all shared was very good, because there were some things and some angles that I had not crossed, that was explained as far as the differences between the entrepreneurship and the hustle, and all of that information. That was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the testimony. I felt it. This has been inspiring. And just thank everyone, the teamwork. I mean, this Zoom today was very rich. I mean, seeing the difficulty and Belinda coming in and helping, and everyone just pulling together impromptu. None of this was planned, but everything that was communicated today was very rich and resourceful. And most of all, when God came in, he's probably always been in, but that moment where it became open, because we in this nation, irregardless of the irregularity of it being founded, that was at the beginning, and as a community, we are always singled out as dysfunction. But if you look back in our history of the United States of America, it was a lot of dysfunction with Christians, or just the people that were here with the Indians, and I mean, just all of that. So, but God was there, and so that acknowledgement today was most important, because irregardless of how everyone channels that, at the end of the day, we know that it's something bigger than us, and we all agree, that, and we saw it present today. So thank you to everyone. I did ask in the chat that I don't know anybody here. I am in Georgia. I'm in Douglasville, Georgia, but I have family all over and connections everywhere. So I would like to know whatever platforms everyone has, or businesses, whatever. how we could network and share that information. I have a Zoom on tomorrow. I have a community called Sunday Tea. Typical for the last September will be a year for that. It was birthed during the pandemic. I lost my sister to murder, so I started on her birthday, and which is September 20th. And we come together, and it's built on that old community of what we're doing here, talking about, community things, spiritual things, government, just whatever. And if we all remember, probably our parents or someone you remember saw sat in those circles, having coffee or tea and doing those things. So that's what we do. The last 2 months we've been on that PPP loan. So I hope that everyone that's in business here is aware of that. Most people that I know, and including our business, my husband has a appliance repair business, have received those resources. So if you just take the time to go to the SBA website for that PPP loan, I think the end of, I don't know if it was this month, I have not looked back at it, but anything that comes up, just go for it. There's a lot of open doors for our community. I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you all. I've enjoyed it richly. Thank you, thank you, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Yolanda. You say you're friends with Kathy Brandon?
Yes, yes.
I'm the LT that she was talking about when we did the cake raffle yesterday, and I stay in Villa Rica. I was just at her house dropping off the cakes this morning for the
Wow.
2 people that won. So this organization is Speak Life to Youth and Children. Is geared toward kids from the ages of 6 to 21 through 21. And just check us out on Facebook. Kathy will fill you in more about that as well. Welcome and thank you for being a part. Anybody else?
Hi, my name is India Carpenter. Hi, Uncle. Hi, Auntie. I just want to say that this was motivation for me. Me and my husband have been discussing and talking about entrepreneurship and starting businesses. And I just thank y'all because this motivated us, and also getting our children and teaching them about entrepreneurship and them starting businesses. So this just gave me the go and the okay, and like God said, it's your time. So I thank y'all for it. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah. I'm Rocky's older brother,
Okay.
and I see my sister here too, Nefatoria. Older brother, and I see my brother-in-law Corey Jones, and I see my best friend Wallace Hood that we grew up with, and I see my niece India, my sister's firstborn. And this is timely because the situation that's happening with me with losing my son this past Tuesday. And my son was an entrepreneur. He was a music producer and songwriter, and he was also talking about getting into real estate, buying houses to refurb them. And this is real timely. And then the coincidence is that our mother passed away back in 2001 on April the 27th. And my son, my firstborn son, that's when he was senselessly taken away. And this right here has strengthened me, with his death, and then the things that my brother is teaching about, so we can pass this legacy on to our children and our grandchildren. But Rocky, I want to thank you. And you are definitely right, because Mama did pray for all of us. And, the fruits of her prayers have panned out. You're married, I'm married, our sister Nefatoria is married. And, it's a great thing, to be in a relationship with your wife or your husband. And, man, I still got so much to learn from you, brother. You the youngest, but I still learn so much from you. And thank you. Thank you.
Hey, y'all gonna have me crying. I'm trying not to be crying. I'm trying. trying to hold it together till after we close out. Anybody else going?
Thank you again, Belinda, for jumping in and saving us with
Oh,
our technical difficulties. We appreciate that.
you're more than welcome. I would just like to say to the both of you, congratulations. Congratulations. Well done, my good and faithful servants.
Thank you.
How's
I
everybody
want
doing?
to let everybody know that it started with a vision. Each and every one of you, it started with a vision. If you're doing something, that's because you saw it here first. And that's really what prayer is. So when your mom was praying for you, it's because she saw you something different than what you saw yourself, which is the same thing that Jesus has done. When Jesus was feeding a multitude of 5,000, the scripture says that he went aside and he prayed, he looked up. He didn't technically look up into heaven. He visualized what he wanted to come into fruition. And then there it is. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind. It all starts with a vision. That's something that my husband teaches on all the time. A renewed mind will change your lifestyle. And you can only have a renewed mind with a radical repentance, which is not an apology. It is a radical change of mind. When you change your mindset, the world is really not just the word, the world is yours. And nobody can stop it because it's in you. It's in you. So well done. I congratulate you both. Walk the path and still working, and multiple streams of income is awesome. In fact, there's not one millionaire out here today can say that they got their millions from having one job. They all tell you it's always 5 or more multiple streams of income. And that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. Mr. Hood,
Yes, sir. How's it going?
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I want to say once again my condolences to the family. That was such a senseless loss and heartfelt loss. Because I'm definitely part of the family. We're connected. I'm here for you whenever, or if you ever need me, I'm here. Give me that call. And I want to say congratulations to Rocky and your wife there. What's your wife's name?
Khadijah.
Khadijah. All right. Congratulations to you both. I'm sorry I missed the presentation. I get my time mixed up and get caught up in some things, and I happen to look at the alert and I say, oh, I thought it was 2, but it was 12 to 2. So I got to pay attention to detail, get back to being a Marine that I'm supposed to be. But yeah, congratulations. And I'm really sorry I missed that presentation. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
It will be
yes,
on YouTube. They'll send the
Okay.
I'll send the YouTube link to them and they'll send it to you.
Okay, great. Yep, and yeah, I'm currently I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine now, and I moved back to Michigan from Texas, and I'm currently trying to open my own practice. So yeah, got caught up in the COVID jam, waiting on that to clear up a little bit before I open, and I'm also going to open a martial arts dojo as well. So yeah, this entrepreneurship thing is the way to go. I tell you that. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that video so I can learn some tips from you.
Okay.
Okay, well, Mr. Hood, I'll make sure to get your contact information because I'm gonna have you speaking to our kids in about 6 months.
Okay.
All right, 5 to 6 months.
Sounds good.
Just expect the contact call.
All right, definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. That's a bet. We're gonna get that. So the last thoughts from last thoughts or comments. Khadijah, LB.
Yes, we'd like to say thank everyone for tuning in. And with the current state of our society, it behooves all of us in some way, some shape, some form to go back to the community and give back in some way. If you're in the Atlanta area, Slick, I'm pretty sure you can use some additional volunteers. But wherever you at, within 2021, I ask everyone to reach out because the current condition of our people, we need some help. And it's people such as ourselves who can directly impact our community. That's my soapbox for today. Thank you.
Okay. Khadijah?
That's it. Thanks for having. Thanks. I let that be the wrap.
Okay.
Thanks for having us. Come on and present again. Sorry about the bloopers, everyone. With the videos, but we still believe that this was a great presentation, and what was meant to come out did come out. And just thank you so much again, Latanya, for having us on to present. And as you always know, we got your back. However we can help.
Okay.
Much as we can. I'm going on
Thank
vacation
you.
for a few weeks because you've been working a little hard. With these things.
Whatever. But thank you all again for agreeing to do this. For those who are online, Khadijah is part of the SLIC International Board of Directors. She is one of our newest board of directors. She got selected and elected last month or 2 months ago. So for those who don't know, our website is www.slickinternational, all one word.com, slickinternational.com. If you would like to donate to the cause, you can do so through the website. So we can continue doing things like this. We don't pay our presenters anything at the moment. I would love to be able to give them a love fee or a small token of appreciation, but we do give them a SLIC t-shirt, so you all will be in the mail as soon as I get them from the printers. You could donate also through Cash App, $ SPEAK, SPEAK, the number 4, SLIC, SLYC, the SLYC is all caps. So please, if you want to see continued programming and continued classes, please do so. We're going to have our next cooking basics class on the first Saturday in June. I think the dish will be learning how to make homemade fettuccine Alfredo. The second Saturday, we're going to have my financial advisor from Florida. He's been my financial advisor for almost 20 years. Robert Keenan, or Bob Keenan, a cornucopia. He's a financial advisor, been in business for well over 30 years. He and his staff will be doing the presentation. So if there's nothing else, again, thank you all for being a part of this. Man, I've been crying, so I know I'm going to cry some more when I get offline. But thank you all so much. This was so edifying and so just wow, amazing. Wasn't expecting it, but it happened the way it was supposed to. Mr. Hood, I will be getting in contact with you real soon.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so
All
thank
right.
you all again. This video will be on YouTube probably within the next 45 minutes. LB and Khadijah, y'all will get the link so you can send it out, and I will also post it on our website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all those other little things. I'm still trying to get used to that, but you all have a great day. And
You too.
those in Florida, I know it's hot, so y'all y'all cool out. If y'all need some AC work, y'all know who to call.
Hit us up. Hit us up.
But we will talk later.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Everyone have a great
Bye-bye.
weekend.
You
Bye-bye.
all too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoyed.
Bye-bye.
All later.
Bye.
All
Peace
right.
and love.
Much love, much love.
Yes.